Okay, so we're in studio here with the afternoon crew in Arch 131. This is just to tag on to the InDesign tutorial video. I'm going to open the portfolio right now in the template. And just so we understand, this is to go along in editing master text from the page, from the Pages menu. So many folks have noticed already we have two types of pages. We have master pages themselves that exist, and they have one square, a 4 square, 6 squares, 2 rectangles opposing each other, landscape format, 2 rectangles in portrait format, a full spread, and a singular square next to a reflection sort of text, right? We also have a proper blank page that has allowed us to sort of see ways to use just grids in our own template. And then below, this bar, just so we can see, this bar can be raised up and down to show more or less of the master pages. But as we go down here, I'm in my portfolio itself. So if I'm coming here, insert my personal cover image, after I edit this page, I want to delete this text, right? And then I'll go ahead and write in just real quick. I'm not going to do a full portfolio here, obviously. Brian Shields, B. Shields, Studio, Fall 2024, slow. Okay, so I now have this image. I can file, place, and unlike you guys, I did not do what Sinju asked already, right? I did not organize all my files, so let's pretend I did. I've got a couple images that I've taken recently. I'm just going to use my Apple Photos. Let's just say for some reason in this portfolio I'm doing images of people at play. Here's my girls at a fountain at the hardware store playing around. I now have a filled image, right? If I click on this image, that's now filled this entire cover page, right? I have options with fitting. So this is the first thing I want to show you guys, make sure everybody understands what fitting is. My options are to fill the frame that exists proportionally. And that is now, I filled that frame with the most I can of this photo's proportion. I can also right click and go to fitting, and I can fit the content proportionally. And you'll see how it now has a little bit of white space top and bottom, because that's a proportion of this photo. But I also can take it and now fit the frame to the content itself. And so I can start to shrink that frame down. I think for the purposes here, I want to be filled as best I can, and this feels like a good field condition, right, that exists. Okay? As I go down here, and I start to set up things about myself, let's just say I now want to file place, replace with own photo, so let me delete that text. I'm going to file place. And in that file place, I'm going to go back, and again, let's just pretend my photos roster is my about me. Let me grab a photo. Here's Hudson here, and then I can right click, and I can, again, fill frame proportionally. But I also, if I want to, by double clicking, so that's what's right here. So if I click on this frame, I get the outer box. If I double click, I get what's inside the box, the actual size. You can see the size and proportion of the picture. I also can use this white tool, white arrow tool, and that selects the box. And now I can actually make Hudson much bigger in this image. Let's say because I wanted to show that around here, there she is riding this pony. If you click and hold, you can see what the photo looks like. I'm dead center the image, fills it, and let's just say that's the story I wanted to tell, right, with that photograph, okay? So that's the About Me page photo. And then eventually I'll fill these out. But why this other part of this process video exists is this text right here. You'll notice this, if I click on this, I can't edit this text, okay? I can't edit this text because it's come from a template master page, and it's locked. So if I'm on a PC, I'm going to hold down the Shift key, the Control key, and then I'm going to click. If I'm on a Mac, I'm going to hold down the Shift key, the Command key, and click. Left click, and now I have access to this text. Shift, Command, click. I have access to this project name, text, and same thing goes for here and so on, okay? So if I go here, I can actually set up and call this found object, or project one found object, whatever. And then for text, This is where you might even give an introduction to the project within your own words, but also this isn't a shock to me that you might use Jen's assignment briefs that guide us through the first 3 projects, right? So we have this opening piece, maybe you take a snippet of the text from the brief and so on, right? And then from here I can start to place images. So let me go ahead here and say if I do Shift Command Click, let's go back and say I want to do one image here, but I'll go back to my photos again. Let's just say I have an image of my project here. Okay, so I'm going to grab an image of, okay, here's the girls again in this rocking chair, this big rocking chair. So there's this filled image, right? And so let's say I like this image, but I also want to do a sort of color bar sort of header. So this is where this process video is going to end. I'm just going to go ahead and draw. Let's just say I want to draw a box that was here. And if I go to properties, I'm going to change my stroke to 0, but I'm going to make my fill color red. And if I want to match that color, I can even match it to that red right there. And once I have this red, oh, sorry, put that. Okay, here, I can start to use this color bar. And in this color bar here, I can start to align this. And maybe I play with a full bleed. So you notice this is now in front. And this is the last part of this process video I'm going to show you all, is I have this red box in front of this image. Well, what if I want the opposite, right? Actually, I'm blocking the image, but I want this accent color. So I could go full bleed, right? I can, because I'm going to be a digital portfolio, but now I'm in front of caption, whatever. So I can right-click on any image as well, any box, any piece of text, and I can right-click and I can send it all the way to the back or send it backwards. So in this scenario, I just want to send this to back. And now I'm behind everything. What I'm also in front of, though, is the template text. So you want to be careful, or the master text, you want to be careful to unlock these things beforehand, right? So Shift Command Click, and then same thing here, Shift Command Click. And now, like some of the portfolios I showed you in class today, from some of the 5th years, I could now full bleed the right-hand side with this accent color. Right-click, arrange, send to back, and now I'd have this project name up here in this, and I've got this red that plays off a color palette that I want to play with, an accent color. You also could imagine, and this is, well, I'll just show you on this side of the page, same thing. What if instead you want to do it over text? Okay, so let's get rid of this one. Same thing, right? I'd have to arrange, send to back. And now I've sent this to back, but now this text, as you see, this red's dark enough, I can actually go in here, change this text color. Instead of black, I can change it to the paper color, which is white. And I can do the same thing in the properties over here. Change this to white. And now I have the ability to have this thing pop up against that image. Okay? That's an accent color. It's a way to sort of lay these things out and so on. And then I brought this up in Photoshop, but all Adobe programs have the ability Command plus minus or on the Mac, or Control plus minus on a PC. Command plus allows you to zoom in, Command minus out, or Control plus on the PC, zoom in, Control minus, zoom out. Okay? So that ends this process video. I'll get this up on YouTube so you guys can have this as a reference point.